had told me years ago that I'd be a mom juggling life, working in the medical field, and still chasing my dream of becoming a doctor, I probably would have laughed or even cried. But yet, here I am, going after what God called for me, proving that God's timing is never late, and neither am I. If you ever felt like you were behind in life, trust me, you're not.
Like a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring.
Hey, everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Lauren. I am a postgraduate, non traditional pre med student and a mom chasing big dreams. Here, I will share my journey to medical school, balancing motherhood, faith, and life's curveballs. If you are a mom chasing big dreams, or a pre med student just feeling out of sorts, or just need some daily encouragement, you're in the right place. Why am I a non traditional student? Sometimes I ask myself the same question because life happened. I don't know. No, but I'm kidding. I understand why. Let me just let you know that was not the plan at all. I always knew I wanted to be a doctor since I was a little girl. When I was born, I was actually diagnosed with an atrial septal defect. So essentially, there's a valve that is open when you are developing inside the womb that's supposed to close once you are born. Unfortunately, mine did not. So it did cause quite a few complications, and it got to the point where I actually had open heart surgery at the tender age of 2 years old. So after that kind of traumatic, life changing experience, and all the medical professionals I met and who just made such a huge difference in my life and still allowed me to be a kid, and they supported me and my parents, that really made an impression upon me to the point where even since I was small, I knew I wanted to be a doctor. I knew I wanted to help other kids who had experienced or gone through similar situations as me. But being a first generational college student, I just thought passion is all I need to have. I had no idea what I was doing. I just thought being smart and kind of just good at science, and I really love science, really love biology. I just thought that was enough. So I studied and I got okay grades, but life just happened. My mom lost her job very early in my college career. I ended up having to work while in college, and balancing working and going to school proved to be way more of a challenge than I anticipated. It was extremely hard for me to figure out how to get good grades while also having to provide for myself. So, as you can imagine, my GPA struggled. And it even got to the point in my medical career where I actually had to drop out for probably about 5 to 6 years in order to pay my tuition for me to even finish my undergrad. So overall, it probably took me around 10 years to finish my undergraduate degree. But by the grace of God, I finished. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how long you do it as long as you complete it. If you have to quit for a couple of years and get a job like I did to save up money to afford your tuition, if you have to go for a semester and quit a semester and come back, whatever the case may be, you can do this. You can accomplish it. And now I'm sitting here not only with a bachelor's degree, but also with my lovely master's degree. So, yes, because I struggled in my undergrad and my GPA was not very strong, I did apply to medical school, but unfortunately, I did not make the cut. So, recently, I decided to go back and get my master's degree. And this time around, I made sure that after all the struggles I had in my undergrad, I understood the assignment. I understood that I was going to have to do something different, and I was going to have to make things work and do what I need to do a little differently, especially now because along the way, after finishing my undergrad and becoming a master's degree, I also became a mom. So that added another layer to the challenge. But believing in God, trusting Him, knowing that medicine is where He wants me to be, stood 10 toes down on my calling and still went forward. But I understood that I need to do something different. So I did research. I looked on YouTube. I asked friends who had straight A's. I found some new study methods and I grinded. I got into the books and I was able to accomplish a 4.0 in my graduate school while also being a mom. So, throughout this journey, as you can see, there were many, many challenges I had to overcome. Number one, financially, learning how to balance a job and studying while in school, also while trying to find scholarships, stretch every dollar, find every grant and every resource I possibly can in order to pay my tuition. It was tough. And yes, to be honest, there were times where I really didn't know if I was going to make it. When I had to take that 5 year like gap, it trust me, when it started out, it was just supposed to be a year or two. And before I know, I looked up and 5 years had gone by. But I can even remember to this day. It's just one day it just dropped in my spirit. Like, call this school, ask them for a payment plan or an opportunity, see what they say. And I did it, and I just said, "Hey, I have such and such money. Is there any way we could work out the balance?" And I didn't even have to fight really hard. They said okay, and before I knew it, I was back in school. So, needless to say, where there's a will, there's a way, and God's timing is perfect. So I completed my undergraduate degree. I started a full-time job. I lived a little bit of life and I became a mom along the way. So in graduate school, it was no longer balancing finances along with studying, but now it was also being a mom. It's no longer eat, sleep, study. It's eat, read story time, help with potty training, then maybe get some sleep, then study, then repeat. So here we are. And like I said, I really had to bear in and find my weaknesses in my study schedule. I had to be flexible. I had to get up earlier. I had to create schedules, all these other things I had to do. But through all of it, I had to trust God that He knew what He was doing. He knew all these things were going to happen, and He guided me every step of the way. And that's how I was able to gain success. Through all these challenges, I had every reason to give up. I mean, sometimes so many things happen at once. Sometimes it even seemed like it was hard to breathe. But through every step of the way, I held on to my faith. I trusted God and I allowed Him to guide me. One of my favorite scriptures that kept me going is Galatians 6:9. Let us not grow weary in doing good, for in due time you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. God will renew your strength. Trust in Him. He will give you what you need, and in due time you will reap a harvest if you refuse to give up. Where am I now in my journey? Well, I recently, a few months ago, graduated from my graduate program. And right now, I decided to take a break from being an anesthesia tech. And right now, I'm just really focusing on a mom, preparing for the next application cycle, considering retaking my MCAT, and just really focusing on God and trying to open my heart to what He has next for me and what's in line for me. I aspire one day to be some type of surgeon. We'll see. I've actually kind of been getting into being an OBGYN as well, especially after being a mom and having that whole experience. That has really made an impression upon me. And of course, cardiac. But no matter what field I go into, I always want to inspire, uplift, and encourage non traditional pre med students in general, and of course, moms chasing big dreams. If you stick around, you'll see pre med tips and study hacks, productivity and organization for busy students, the reality of being a non traditional pre med student and a mom, travel because we are still making memories while chasing big dreams, and encouragement to keep pushing because trust me, you are not alone in this journey. If any of that sounds good, make sure you subscribe below and turn on your notifications. And also, are you a non traditional pre med student? What are your struggles? What are the things you experience? I would love to hear your story. Leave your comments down below. Listen, if you're out here feeling like it's too late or you're behind or you don't belong in medicine, let me tell you, that is a lie. God would not place this desire or this dream in your heart if He did not have plans for you to accomplish it or if He wasn't going to help you through it. I hope my journey encourages you to keep pushing, keep believing, and most of all, trust in God's perfect timing. Thank you so much for watching my video. I am looking forward to building this community, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.